Welcome to the Jaguar Podcast, a show where we discuss all things related to Duval County's finest NFL football team, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Move 42, set, fight!
Duval, baby! Hey everybody, it's Andrew and welcome to episode 118 of the Jaguar Podcast. In this episode, I'll be having a discussion with Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback Josh Dobbs. Josh attended the University of Tennessee and had an impressive career, throwing for 7,138 yards and 53 touchdowns. He was drafted in 2017 by the Pittsburgh Steelers in the 4th round and was acquired in a trade by the Jaguars in September of 2019. I had a blast talking with Josh. He's a great guy. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you do as well. Here's my discussion with Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback Josh Dobbs. Josh, thanks for taking the time to jump on the podcast. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Glad to be here and talk with you, Andrew. Appreciate you for having me.
No problem, man. How's training camp going?
It's going well. Hot, of course, down here in the Florida sun. We're usually out there a little early, though. We get the 9:45 practice, but it's been going well, especially with, given the circumstances, guys have been healthy, taking care of themselves, and practice has been progressing, and so we're excited to be 2 weeks out from week 1 and opening weekend. Great to hear, man.
The pandemic has thrown a wrench into everything, including the preseason, as you know. In addition to that, you have a new QB coach, Coach Ben McAdoo, and a new offensive coordinator, Jay Gruden, and also a new system as well. Has it been a little nerve-wracking having to learn a new system amidst all this stuff going on?
I think originally coming into it, it was because there was so much uncertainty. There was uncertainty if we were going to have OTAs, when camp was starting, what virtual meetings were going to look like. But I will say, with Coach McAdoo and Coach Gruden and their experience, one just in the league and with successful quarterbacks and experience with the offense, it's really been very seamless. We were able to kind of, through virtual meetings, get a really good grasp of, the offense and be able to take what we were learning on virtual meetings out to, our socially distanced workout and practice fields and get a chance to get some reps in the offense and manufacture some reps. And then with camp and the ramp-up period and being able to have countless, really, walkthroughs throughout camp and then practice reps, it's been actually pretty seamless learning the offense. They've done a good job kind of incorporating, a lot of the terminology from last year. So to be able to make it very seamless learning the new offense so we can hit the ground running into camp and into the season.
Good, great to hear. I saw some videos of you online, throwing the ball around with, was that Laviska or?
Yeah, I got a chance to work with Laviska after the draft, and then I was able to also, the guys that were in town, so like DJ, Chris Conley, Keelan, Marquell, several guys, James O'Shaughnessy, several guys were in town. So we were able to orchestrate workouts, get together to kind of get manufacture reps with the offense, do walkthroughs to be able to hit the ground running in camp.
Awesome. How's James doing? I know he's coming back from an injury.
Yeah, he's coming back, but man, he's really worked his butt off. He's looking good. They have him on a sort of a pitch count in practice. So he's been able to get out there and make plays, be productive in the passing game. He's looked good, whether you split out wide or in the 3-point stance. So I'm excited for him. Of course, it was unfortunate getting injured last year, especially when it happened. He was playing really good football for us. So he's really come back, worked hard, and he'll be a productive player for us, especially at that tight end position, in addition with the new addition of Tyler Eifert as well.
So, you're a multi-dimensional quarterback. I mean, you have a great arm. You can throw the ball really well, and you can also run. Given the kind of the abbreviated, OTAs and no preseason, and going right into training camp, do you feel like, you've been given the opportunity to really showcase your skills as a quarterback?
I think the opportunities have been there. Obviously, as you say, reps are kind of sparse. When we have 4 guys in the room. So, I think it's a process. I've been able to take advantage of the reps I have been given at practice, and go out and officially move the football, execute the offense, go to the right place with the football. That's kind of my goal. I know, the reps may vary day to day, but the reps that I do get, being able to take advantage of those. It's tough not having a preseason, especially at the quarterback position where, only one guy does play. Those preseason reps really are invaluable. So it's tough not having those opportunities. But with the extended camp, we do get a few more opportunities to showcase our skills. We have a scrimmage coming up on Saturday. So we're just taking advantage of each rep, focusing on a day at a time, not looking too far ahead, but just take advantage of the reps as they come and show the coaching staff, the type of quarterback that I am and how I can successfully move the ball through the air, on the ground, get my team in the right look, go to the right place with the football, and do that on a consistent basis so that they have confidence in me at the position.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm rooting for you. You mentioned working with some of the guys, LaVisca, him being a rookie in that new incoming rookie class. Have there been any standouts in your opinion for the rookie class in training camp?
It's been impressive, how they've come in and learned the scheme, not having OTA. We got getting a chance to work with them in the summer through walkthroughs. Yeah, guys like LaVisca, Colin Johnson, Josh Hammond, they're lining up in the right positions. They know their routes. They know their assignments. So as we've gotten to practice, like Collins really stood out, coming from Texas, tall guy on the outside, big threat in the red zone. But he can really do it all. LaVisca is strong, really good out wide as well. He's made plays in practice. Josh Hammond as well. So several guys are standing out. So it's been good to see them, and see them consistently progressing and making plays because, they're going to have to make plays for us this season for us to be successful. So to have them come in even on a short clock, no OTAs, and still be professionals at a young age, it's impressive to see. So as a quarterback, the best thing you can do is get them up to speed as fast as possible and helping them continue to learn how to be a professional, take care of their bodies, and continue to consistently make plays. So those guys have stood out. They're doing a great job. So I'll be excited to see how they continue to progress as we get closer to the season.
Yeah, me too. I've heard a lot of great things on, social media. I've been following them, Colin and, LaVisca. So me too. I'm really looking forward to see what they can do for this upcoming season. So there's a lot of, there's a lot of players in the quarterback room. This year you got Gardner Minshew, of course, yourself, Jake Luton, and Mike Glennon. How has the atmosphere been? Has it been pretty competitive, or has it been kind of fairly relaxed?
Yeah, I'd say quarterback room's not competitive. That's kind of a problem. So, of course, it's been competitive, but I will say we were really gelling well together. It's been, a room where you get a chance to go out and compete on the practice field, and then after practice, before we meet with Coach Ben, we're able to get in the film room, and all 4 of us in there watching film, helping each other out, and helping us progress, as a room. And that's the biggest thing, having a good cohesive QB room is really important. So, yes, it's been competitive. I mean, we're all out there trying to execute the offense to the best of our abilities, but then get a chance to come in and grow together, continue to just talk football and figure out new ideas, new plays for us as an offense, so that we're able to still go out and execute and play football at a high level.
Yeah. I know Gardner's just a real personality in the locker room and likes to joke around and have fun. Do you think that's true? Have you seen that kind of face to face?
I mean, I spent, I guess, a year now with him. So I think we all see, the personality that he is. But, I would say whether it's him or any of us, we're all, no matter, what personality we portray, we're all really serious about football. We all want to win football games. So we're all able to add to the locker room, get around the guys. And as a team, I'd say, we really get along well. Offense is competing daily, defense is competing daily, doing a lot of different things at each other, evolving, progressing, competing, and then coming together, whether it's in the walkthrough setting at the end of the day, or in the locker room, or in the film room, and figure out how we can get better. And the next day, as a team, we're out there trying to continue to move forward, progress, so that we're able to go out and win a lot of football games this season. This season is going to be a year that it's going to test a lot of NFL teams. It will be really based on, your maturity as a team if you're going to be successful. If you're taking advantage of these times, not just when you're on the practice field, but when you're in the meeting rooms and when you're in walkthrough, or you take advantage of those reps, then are you being smart when you get outside the building? We've been able to really do a good job of that as a team, and we're all excited to start up the season.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear you guys are working well, just well together and gelling well. I want to segue a little bit into your college career, Josh, at Tennessee. You played under head coach Butch Jones, and you had a lot of success there. And I just wanted to know kind of what it was like for you playing under head coach Butch Jones.
It was a wonderful experience. Coach Jones, we both got there at the same time. He recruited me. And really had me flip my commitment from the University of Arizona State to the University of Tennessee. So going to Tennessee, playing under Coach Jones, and being a very successful quarterback at that university, it was a tremendous experience. I think it's just I often go back and look back just on my experience or just reminisce, and it was amazing, like the progression, as a football player, from my freshman to senior year, as well as, a person off the field, just progressing and finding myself and understanding my identity. A lot of that was attributed to the people I was around at the university, from both the football side to the academic side to my teammates and classmates. So it was a unique experience. We won a lot of football games up there during my time at Tennessee. I definitely have a good bond with Coach Jones. I actually talked with him probably like a month ago. He's still at Alabama, and they're ramping up for the season. So we were just talking, about everything going on currently, but also reminiscing on those times at Tennessee and how good of a team we had there. So it was a lot of fun to play football there for sure.
Yeah, and I know you were teammates with Alvin Kamara and Josh Malone, both who are playing in the NFL right now. Of course, Alvin Kamara is playing for the New Orleans Saints, and then Josh is over with the Jets. Are you staying in touch with them?
Yeah, definitely. Josh, I actually recruited Josh Malone to the University of Tennessee. So like my sophomore year, I hosted him on my freshman year, I hosted him on his official visit. And he ended up enrolling early. Second semester of my freshman year, we became basically inseparable. So we still talk and reminisce. I was actually talking to him the other day about how he was doing up at the Jets camp. And then, of course, Alvin, definitely. It's really I've seen him the past 2 years. While I was in Pittsburgh, we went out there and played him in New Orleans. And then, of course, they came to Jacksonville last year. And it's always good to catch up with those guys, whether it's those two that you played offense with or guys like Jalen, Derek, whoever you cross paths with, that bond you create when you go to the University of Tennessee or whatever school and you play football and you just go through the years of being 18 years old to 21, 22 years old. Those are the defining years of your life, and the people that you go through that time with, the bond that you make is really can never be broken. So it's always good to touch bases with those guys, stay in tune to everything that they're doing, checking in. I'm excited for them to have a good season this year. I don't think we play either of them this year. So we play the Saints in the Super Bowl, of course. But I don't think we'll cross paths with the Jets. So I wish them best of luck. I know they're excited to get the season going as well and excited to have a good season for themselves.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that you're still staying in touch with them and that you developed, such strong friendships. That's awesome. So, Josh, I want to talk a little bit about one of the games that kind of really sticks out in my mind is the 2016 Music City Bowl. Tennessee beats Nebraska 38-24. You had a great game. You were the game MVP, and that was essentially your last game for Tennessee. So can you kind of walk me through that, like how that experience was for you?
Yeah, I guess anytime this year, college, I'd say first off, college is so different than, high school. Like high school, you go into your senior year and then you have the playoffs. Unless you make state, we end up losing the playoffs. You don't know when your last game, is going to be. You just go out there and just play. College is a different experience because, you have senior night, then you have your bowl game where like, okay, this is my last game I'm playing in my home stadium, and this is my last game I'll be playing for the Volunteers. So it's a very surreal feeling. You get out there on the field and, you want your last game to be perfect, and then once you finally settle in with all the anticipation and all the emotions surrounding the game, you finally settle in, just play football, and just go out and have fun. And that was the biggest thing I told myself at that moment. It's like you play a lot of football. It's going to be a good game. Just go out, have fun, and enjoy it. And was able to do that. Of course, it's always great to go out with a win in that fashion. And go out and having the game I had. So it was a very unique experience, a blast. I replayed it in my mind a lot to go back and watch the game as well. I miss the days at Tennessee. I was just thinking about that. I miss college football. College football, is very unique, especially like having that last game in the state of Tennessee, where, every single week you got the University of Tennessee fans out in full force in the orange and smoky grays and cheering you on, and kind of the whole world revolves around, college football and the Tennessee Volunteers. Those are special moments, special times. And of course, just to reminisce on those times, reminiscing never will take the place of actually living through those times. So I had a blast. To go out on that note was amazing, and that was a good game. It's good to go back and reminisce on that game. You put me down memory lane with that question right there, Andrew.
Yeah, well, I have to ask you this next one, Josh. You guys played in Nebraska, and Devin Ezigbo, he's your teammate. He's a running back. He was playing for Nebraska at that time. So do you give him a lot of crap and a hard time about that game?
The first day I met Divine, that was like the first thing he said. He's like, "You were the quarterback of Tennessee. You blew us out when we played you in Nashville." So literally every single, we're really good friends now. We spent a lot of time together actually this off season, but it always comes back up. We got bragging rights. Anytime the SEC Big Ten debate comes up in the locker room, I kind of get bragging rights over Divine right there. We won our head-to-head battle. So. But no, we have fun with it, man. We have a lot of fun with that stuff.
Yeah, and I saw you went toe to toe with Leon Jacobs, a couple weeks ago.
Toe to toe.
Yeah,
and I had to let him know too. We crossed paths with Wisconsin. He already knows what would have happened. So.
Nice. So I saw you actually on TV a while back on John Gruden's QB camp, and I had to ask you this. He's pretty intense and pretty funny at times as well. But he seemed very impressed with you. Were you nervous at all being on the show?
That's a funny story. Coach Gruden, John Gruden, he has a lot of ties to Tennessee. So many people go on that show, and that's kind of like their first time meeting Coach Gruden. And you know him from TV, you know him from his Super Bowl down in Tampa, you know him as, the hard head ball coach, Coach Gruden. But during my time at Tennessee, he actually came back. I think every summer I was there, there was time he would host a QB camp on campus. But he would also spend some of his time. He would take us through like a mini Gruden camp. He would go back and watch all of our practices, the game tape we had, and take us through a Gruden camp where he's quizzing us on the offense. He's asking us about our reads, our progressions. He's showing us how we can improve, what we can get better at. He's showing us what we're also doing good at. So I had a built relationship with him. So when we went to actually do the real Gruden camp, in the draft prep and everything, it was really like, it was my fifth time doing it with him. So it was a blast. I wasn't intimidated the first time. I wasn't intimidated that time. Because at the end of the day, he's a guy who's fiery and passionate about football, and that's what I am. I love the game. I'm always trying to grow and get better. So to be around a coach that's seen a lot of football and seen a lot of great ones at the QB position and get a chance to learn from him, anytime I have that opportunity, I jump at it. So it was a fun experience, especially to do that one on TV, of course. And the questions he was asking, draw up a play and asking some engineering questions. You get a chance to go out to the field and just talk ball, throw the football around. It was a fun experience. That was my fifth time, as I said, doing it with him. I was able to learn every single time I was with him as well. So I had fun with it. For sure.
That's awesome. Was it hard to keep a straight face when he starts, naming those plays like Tarantula 3,
It is a little bit. And now it's funny, of course, because his brother's the OC, so obviously they have a lot of crossover and correlation. So to see like some of the play names he was naming, right, and then now some of them are actually in our offense. You have to keep a serious face in the huddle when you're calling them. You've heard these Spider 2 live in as on TV and everything. Now they're actual plays are running. So it's a funny experience for sure.
So is Jay like John at all? Personality wise, is he pretty intense, or is Jay a completely different person?
Jay has his own identity. It's when they have the same voice, very similar voices. But no, they're different people. I mean, they both like to joke, have fun, and love football, and really intelligent football IQ. So it's kind of good it's really neat to be around both of them, honestly. But no, Jay's his own personality, man. Jay's a funny one for sure.
Nice. So Josh, I know you were an aerospace engineering major at Tennessee, and that's super impressive. What drew you to that major?
So really my passions, growing up, I was interested in aviation. I was really good at math and science. I participated in several camps growing up through my parents' guidance that were in the STEM world. One such as, Tuskegee Airmen Camp, where I went down and saw the Delta facility at Hartsville-Jackson, visited the Air Traffic Control Center. So I did various events growing up that allowed me to see and understand my passions. I visited Kennedy Space Center at the age of 7. So when I got to end of high school, I was trying to figure out, okay, what do I want to major in? I knew I loved aviation, and that was my passion, and it's good at math and science. So I was like, all right, what I want to major in, aerospace engineering was the perfect mix of the two. And I get a chance to learn, about aviation, learn about space, and continue to excel at what I was good at, math and science. So it worked out perfectly that University of Tennessee had that major. I also ended up getting a minor in business as well during my time there. So I was kind of able to see the full spectrum of the engineering world and the business world and how they combine together. So that's kind of, I guess, how I sought out aerospace engineering. I know that's never really a major that you just wake up and say, oh, let me just try aerospace engineering, right? You probably have a good reason or your interest or involved in that for you to want to seek out, one of the hardest majors on a college campus. But it was a blast. I wouldn't change it. Of course, I spent a lot of time in the library. I closed it down several times. Had some expensive assignments and projects, but I was blessed to be able to go and pursue that. as well as, Division I football at a school such as Tennessee.
So with, being an aerospace engineer and, majoring in that, do you think that that's helped you in football, breaking down plays, reading defenses, deconstructing plays and kind of understanding that?
I think what I've learned, during my time, especially learning how to be a true engineer and learning how to be a true quarterback is, the biggest crossover is in the thought process. There's a lot of critical thinking skills in both worlds. And a lot of times as an engineer, especially like in college, your daily, agenda is you're tasked with a problem. You have to find the most efficient way to solve that problem. And once you have the answer, then you repeat process. And basically, as a quarterback, you're doing the same thing. The defense is constantly giving you various problems, issues, alignments, blitzes, coverages, and you have to identify what the problem is and how it affects your current play and how to fix the problem and go the right place with the football. So there's a lot of crossovers in the thought process and the mindset. And so once I learned that, it's really good to see the correlation, the crossover. So both sides of, the engineering world or the football world, I'm able to draw from each side, each experiences, and able to continue to grow mentally. And it's helped me become a better quarterback. And being a better quarterback has helped me become a better engineer as well.
Well, hey, Josh, I'll close out on that. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I'm sure I'll see you standing next to Elon Musk or have your own, have your own company, your plane company. I just want to tell you too, my wife is a huge fan of yours, huge Tennessee fan. So she just, she went crazy when she heard that you were going to be coming on the podcast. And hey man, I'm rooting for you and I wish the best for you for this upcoming season.
Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me. It was fun to come on, talk about football, engineering, and everything with you. So I appreciate it, and yeah, definitely hope to see you soon for sure.
Let me get that. JYD coming up with the big sack. Quarterbacks beware, we on the prowl. Game day night, you could hear it in our growl. Intimidation on to keep their hearts racing, eating other teams live on TV front of the nation. Spectacular defensive scheme.
This episode is available on the Jaguar Podcast YouTube channel. So if you stop by, make sure to subscribe and give this video a like. Also, these episodes are available on iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and other major podcast distributors as well. So if you don't mind, please leave me a review and some feedback. I'd really appreciate that. If you'd like to connect with me on social media, my Twitter handle is @JagwarPodcast. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram. This is Andrew signing off. Cheers.